For the next week, I'm driving 1,000 miles into the desert all by my lonely self to the great state of Utah, home of the Mormons and very difficult to get alcohol. Me trucking adventure begins in Zion National Park. Fucking beautiful out here, swimming in streams, driving through mountains and shit. Fucking arches everywhere. Bloody hot too, I know I'm from the bush, but Jesus Christ. And this is by far our grandest adventure yet, y'all.
Got done cooked here in Utah, man. Stay tuned to the very end for a very special reflection on some of our best, most iconic adventures yet.
The stuff I do for y'all, man. I appreciate the support, and here's to the next 1,000. Let's roll, y'all.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Rolling with Bear Man. The Longship and I are currently at the In-N-Out parking lot. Just grabbed some quick lunch before I hit the road. But we're embarking on a very special adventure today in celebration of passing 1,000 subscribers. Finally made it, please! We're driving out of California, crossing a whole state, and then arriving at our location in the state of Utah. Bring out the Mormons! I'll explain more later, but I'm trying to get on the road. It is already almost 2 p.m. But as always, y'all, let's roll. Alright, y'all, just fueling up the Longship here. The plan is to drive all the way to Utah tonight. I'm gonna stay just outside Zion National Park. I got some dispersed BLM land. I'm hoping I can arrive there around like 8:45, 9 p.m. where it's still just a little bit light out so I can pick a spot, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. I really don't think we're gonna make it then because it's already 2 p.m. so. But that is the first step of the adventure, and guys, I am so excited for this week. It is going to be an action-packed week. I think this is gonna be one of the adventures for the books, guys. I hope you're just excited as I am. And hey, shout out to you guys for making it happen. 1,000 subs, let's get it. All right, let's actually hit the road this time. Peace. Alright, y'all, I just pulled over to take a quick leak before I get onto this next freeway here, but I am still in California. It is 6 p.m., so we're probably gonna get to our campsite tonight pretty late, definitely after sundown. I would guess I'm probably about 30 minutes or so away from the Nevada-California border, and then we gotta drive through Nevada, pass through into Utah, and that is the state we will call home for the next week or so. Alright, y'all, let's keep rolling. Alright, y'all, we have officially left California, made it into Nevada. I'm in Prim right now, which is literally right on the border. The border is right just that way. Just pulled off the freeway here at the gas station. Gonna run in, take a quick leak, maybe try my luck, hit a little slot or two, I don't know, we'll see. But it is 7:17 and I still got about 3 hours to go, so I really gotta get moving. Map says I'm gonna get there at 11:04 because we gotta account for the hour time change, which is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, I'm gonna run in, then get right back on the road. Let's roll. Alright, well, $10 down the drain, but hey, you win some, you lose some. I'm gonna fill the Longship up, give her a little drink, and then we're heading into Vegas. Just passing through though, but I will admit, got me itching to gamble even more. I wanna win my money back, but I'm not gonna. We're gonna keep persistent. And hey, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I don't know what that means, but let's roll. Oh shit. There's Vegas. There's the strip. Vegas is scary, y'all. I'm not a fan. right, y'all, we finally made it into Utah. It is late, guys. It is 12:55 p.m. Gotta account for the time change. Almost 1 a.m. or a.m., 12:55 a.m. But it's about 1 in the morning. I got the Longship all set up, converted into sleep mode at the Walmart that I stopped up. I also picked up some groceries. I found some beautiful steaks, but I'll show you guys those another time. Just in this little gas station parking lot right now. I'm only about 10 minutes or so from the campsite for tonight. At least, hopefully, I can find a spot at the campsite that we're planning to stay at. And I mean, I really hope so, because I am exhausted, guys. It has been a long travel day. I don't know how it took so long to get here, but hey, it is what it is. Unless anything else happens, which fingers crossed doesn't, I will catch you guys in the morning. We got a big adventure planned for tomorrow. I'm so excited. Good night, y'all. Oh, and thanks again for 1,000. Y'all are the best. Let's get it. Good morning, y'all. Look where we are. The one thing I do like about arriving at spots late at night after dark when you can't see anything is you're really surprised when you wake up in the morning. I mean, you really don't know what is surrounding you when you get here way after sunset, 2 a.m. what it was last night. But look at the beautiful red rocks surrounding you up here, all around. But given that I got to sleep at around 2:30 a.m. last night, I slept in until about 8:30 this morning. So I need to get on the road and get into Zion. I was planning to get an early start today, but that was before I arrived at 2:30 a.m. I'm not even getting the Longship packed up yet. I'm just gonna head straight into the park and we can do everything there. Alright, y'all, just finished up some yogurt and berries. I got beef jerky and a salami Sammy packed in my bag. That should be enough to take me through the day. If anything, I can always just hit the store in Zion National Park. I'm just sitting in the Longship cooling off for a second right now. I got the air conditioning blasting. It is 92 degrees outside, guys. I don't know what's going on. It seems like this happens every time. I check the weather going into the adventure, like the day before I leave. Check the weather for the week, and it always says it's like 5 to 10 degrees cooler than it actually is when I get on the adventure. But hey, it is what it is. There's a lot of places where you can swim in Zion National Park too. I just gotta go and find them, so we'll see. And unfortunately, the parking in the park was completely full, so I'm in the town of Springdale right now, and there's a little shuttle stop over there. Catch the shuttle up into the park. But in turn, that means I have to leave the Longship behind, so I gotta get everything that I wanna bring into my bag, and I also gotta eat my breakfast here in the parking lot before I head in. All right, I'm talking too much. I'm gonna get packed up and let's get out of here. And as always, y'all, let's roll. Welcome to Zion National Park, Utah. I just got off the shuttle at the Grotto, which is the stop for Angel's Landing. I screwed up again, I was talking without the mic, but I'm gonna check out the hike to Angel's Landing. Obviously I can't do the full thing because I don't have the permit, but apparently the hike going there is still really beautiful, and I guess it's like mostly covered in shade, I think, from what I was gathering, so that'll be good for a hot day like today. I didn't film much at the entrance because there just wasn't much to see, but it was $35 to get in, 20 for me, 15 for the Longship to drive through on the roads, which we're gonna do later, which is kind of pricey, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, leave it to the government to make money off of nature. But hey, I will say national parks are kind of like a trade-off because it is like the most beautiful scenery that you can get when it comes to adventuring and whatnot. I mean, there's a reason that these places are designated as the national parks, but you also deal with huge crowds. I mean, all times of the year pretty much, especially during the summer, peak season for seeing the national parks. So you definitely have to deal with a lot of the crowds. And as you guys know, I like being alone out here in nature, you know. I don't come out here for the crowds. I don't think anybody does, but it's just a trade-off, you know. You want the beautiful views, the most spectacular hikes in the country. You gotta deal with the most spectacular crowds in the country.
A lot of tourists come from all over the world to come see the national parks too, especially during the summer. I remember back at the Grand Canyon, there were like so many people specifically from Asian countries. I remember just so many, well, Asians, but I mean, Grand Canyon, Zion National Park, places like this, people come from all over the world to see them. A very good nature. I'm excited though, just from what little we've seen already. It's spectacular. Nature perky. All right, I'll catch you guys on the trail. Ooh, look at that. Whew. Damn, I want to take a dip in this water so bad, guys. It is so hot out. Hopefully the shade starts soon, but let's get on it. Whew. Well, I was wrong about the shade, that's for sure. It's been sun the whole time. Maybe they just meant it's just shaded in the morning when the sun is blocked by these canyon walls. And guys, I decided to spend 2 days here to try to see as much of Zion as possible. We're gonna be taking a drive through the canyon on the lower end, like at the bottom of the canyon, which is apparently a very, very beautiful scenic drive. That's the one I had to pay to get on the road for. And you can see some hikers going up that way. That's where we're headed. All right, here's where the incline begins. Gotta make it to the top of that cliff, canyon face. So that is where we drove in from. Whew. I think I will definitely be taking a dip in that stream once this hike is concluded. That is gonna feel good, guys. But only problem is I forgot to swap the board shorts that were in my backpack, so transgender boardies again it is. Whew. Look at that view. Oh, we're entering a breeding zone for the Mexican spotted owls. Hoo hoo foo. Getting a little more shaded as we go in the tighter part of the canyon here. We made it up the first ascent, and it was tiring, I ain't even gonna lie, but we made it. It's hiking between these two canyon walls. Pretty cool. Now look at this. I wonder what causes that. I assume erosion of some kind, but it's like a little like, reminds me of the Kincaid's Cave video from the Grand Canyon. The ancient Egyptian civilization hidden in the Grand Canyon. Man, look at these canyon walls, jeez. Let's take a break up here. Not bad. Little shelter. It's definitely a lot cooler in the shade here. It's just beautiful how these canyon walls are shaped or formed or whatever. And it literally looks like paintbrush strokes. It's like someone just painted the inside of this little cave here. Look at that. Nature really is just so fascinating, guys. I know I say this every time, but it's like, how does this happen? Like, how does all this get formed? Hard to wrap your mind around. Let's get moving. Whew. Gotta keep going up. All right, we're coming up on the other side, it looks like here. Let's see, how many miles has it been? About 1.96, so we should be getting close. Look at this. I mean, come on. That's fascinating. I don't think that's even the main view yet either. All right, y'all. Oh, wow. is crazy. We got big drop off on either side of us here. Look at that. Sheesh. That is crazy. I don't want to get too close to the edge here. This is not a hike to do if you have a fear of heights, just precaution. Oh. Look at this view, guys. Sheesh. And it looks like this is the farthest that I can go without a permit. I think this is where the chain, you know, you see the chain along the top of the ridge there. I think it goes all the way to the top up here. But I do not have a permit, so this is where our hike shall end. And there are, looks like, some park employees making sure you do have a permit. But hey, the view from here is still spectacular. Man, I really do just not like the crowds here. Definitely does kind of take away from like the sereneness of the nature. But hey, can't complain. This is one of, if not, like I said, the most popular hike in the park, so there's bound to be a lot of people. Tomorrow, the part of the park that we're going to is supposedly a lot less crowded, should be a lot less foot traffic and a lot less people. So 3 ways to say one thing that it's gonna be less crowded. That part of the park is called Kolob Canyons. We're gonna do some canyoneering through there. All right, y'all. Let's make our way back down into that creek. I really want to take a dip. Now, I haven't decided whether or not I'm gonna just try to find a spot along the creek at the bottom of this hike, like right at the start of the trailhead, or if I want to take the bus up to the next stop and do the Narrows hike, which is a hike through the Virgin River, I think it's called. But that is also one of the more popular hikes in Zion National Park, so I don't know. I'm gonna just make a game time decision when I get down at the bottom of this hike. And I will say, I mean, the view would have probably been spectacular had we had a permit, but without it, you can probably skip this one. I love me a good stream, y'all. I always wonder when there's streams or whatever you want to call it flowing through places like this, like where does the water come from? I guess there just must be like a spring or something that it all flows from, because it's not coming from snow, right? I mean, there's no snow. I don't think there's any lakes up there. I don't know, this one's got scientist Bearman stumped. Let me know down below if you know the answer. All right, y'all, perfect little spot right here. Looks like it gets a couple feet deep right around there. Perfect. Perfect. Now, time to change into the tranny board shorts. Whew. Oh, this is so nice, guys. Perfect temperature, cold enough to cool you off, not too cold to make you want to jump out. Perfect depth too, I can just stand. Oh. Now this, I always say that too. Whenever I'm editing my videos, I catch myself like, damn, I say that so much. Now this ain't bad. But hey, no lies told, it ain't bad. All right, let's get a head dunk. Much needed. hits the spot. Very refreshing. Whew. This might be the hottest weather that I've ever hiked in, guys. 100+ degrees. I mean, I think it's definitely the hottest weather I've ever hiked in. And I did end up just coming to the stream that's at the end of this, or the start of this Angels Falls hike, just because I was so exhausted and hot. I just really, once I saw this water, I'm like, I'm jumping in. I'm probably gonna hang out here for 20 minutes or so, decompress and whatnot, all the relaxing words. Oh, sheesh, this is so nice. I really just wish we could, well, we are gonna drive through at some point, but it sucks having to take the shuttle, I will say. Because you can't see anything on the shuttle too, because most of the time you have to stand, so you can't even look out the windows, but I'm just complaining. All right, Joe, that was so nice. Oh, 3:45, so I ended up staying there for like 45 minutes, but just felt so good, I didn't want to get out. Oh, look at this cool little rock. The patterns on it. All right, well, struck out with finding a cold drink here, so I'm actually gonna head back to the visitor center, grab a cold drink in the Longship, eat lunch there, and then we'll see what the next step is. I'm about to catch a shuttle bus, so I will catch you back at the Longship. And I think this time I actually will be back at the Longship in the next clip, but who knows? All right, so I'm just chilling in the Longship here, had my beef jerky, lunch, got myself all refueled and everything. It is just so hot outside, guys. I set a timer, oh God, it's almost been an hour that I've been sitting in the car here just with the air on. Just so hot outside. But anyways, I think we're gonna try to take the drive through Zion Canyon, the scenic drive on the bottom of the canyon. How I was telling you, there's two different ones. This is supposed to be a very, very beautiful drive. One of the most stunning in the country, so let's roll. Yeah, we drove through a mountain. Anyways, I'm at the Canyon Overlook Trail. Supposedly this is one of the best spots in the park as far as overlooks go. It is very crowded here, so that is no surprise, I guess. But again, popular spots today, low-key spots tomorrow. All right, let's roll. More ascension. Whew. What a view, guys. I feel like the camera never really does it justice. Let's keep going. A lot of people on this trail. Crazy. There's all kinds of arches. Wonder how those were formed. Like, do arches naturally form in nature? Is that a thing? Mystery. Interesting. Look at this, like fault line? This must be. Right? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's just a slot canyon. It's fascinating how nature's filled with so much like different crazy stuff. Like deep ass, we'll call it a fault line, whatever that thing is. All these canyon faces. This freaking arch, like what? Y'all, tell me how that formed. Come on now. Oh, look at this. Little sketch. Crazy. Ooh. We're almost there, y'all. Get a little tease.
Hey, I should have played better. You look better.
Nature Perky. So that is West Temple with the flat top. That is the altar of sacrifice or something like that. And I don't remember the rest. Beautiful. Well, I screwed up again. I was recording, but the camera was freaking off. It wasn't recording. So I found a new spot. A little cave hangover. The view is just spectacular, guys. You see the sun rays shining down over the mountains. See the sun rays like coming through the mountain or canyon peaks. Crazy. Now, much like the Grand Canyon, or I guess every canyon, Zion Canyon was carved out by a river. This being the Virgin River. But it is just crazy to think about, because that is the stream that I was, or I guess river, that I was taking a bath in earlier today, or taking a dip in earlier. But they say when a flash flood rolls through, you can really see the power of the river, and then you can kind of get a sense of how this kind of carved out a canyon this huge. And of course it happens over millions of years, much like the Grand Canyon also. But you can see it does like flow just like a river. You know, I mean, huge. But canyon walls on each side flowing down through there. Oh. This is a nice little secluded area. All my water in my car is hot from sitting in the car all day, the jug. So I just grabbed another one of these little soda things, because at least these are cold. Definitely refreshing, so that's what I'm having. Definitely no more surge claws after Mammoth. Crazy what nature can do. I know I always say that, but I mean, from the mountains, the alpine lakes, meadows like we saw in Mammoth, huge mountain cliffs, to canyons in the desert like this, huge canyon faces, river that carved it out, beautiful. Looks like the walls are just painted. And how the walls just contain so much history, you know. You can, I mean, I can't, you can't, but the scientists can, I guess, gather a lot from the walls. I don't know, I'm bullshitting, but every single place is just absolutely fascinating in its own extremely unique way. I mean, no two places are the same. I mean, when it comes to, I don't know what the right word is, let's use biomes. canyons, mountains, you know, like canyons and mountains are completely different, but they're both equally as fascinating and beautiful. Nature is just something else. It really makes you wonder, man. Like, I'm not gonna spend time on this video. We did too much of that last time in Mammoth, so I'll spare y'all, but just know I'm thinking about it. It'll be lit when future generations get to travel through the galaxies, go to different planets and whatnot, and see all the nature. I guess you call it nature. All the different nature on the different planets. That's a whole different level. Imagine rolling with Bearman the 5th. Today we're going to Mars, adventure in Mars, adventure in Saturn next week. 7 days trapped on Neptune, no food, no water. I don't know, could be lit. Longship, spaceship, I mean, come on now. Windy. All right, y'all, time got away from me. I thought it was like 6 p.m. I got back to the car, it said 8 p.m. I was like, what? There's no way, it must be wrong. Sure enough, it is 8 p.m. But anyways, because it is already 8:10 p.m. now, I'm gonna head to the campsite for tonight. I think I'm probably just gonna camp at the same spot, but I'm not being lazy with the GoPro this time, so we'll both enjoy the drive. All right, I'll catch you. Greetings, it is I, Bearman, Supreme Leader and Gentle Ruler. I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to all that are watching and that have watched the past adventures. All 1,040 something of you. Yes, my great humble children. I figured I would match the vibe of this drive with a very nice soft voice for you. But anyways, I don't know where this is going, but I wanted to reflect on some of our past adventures that we've embarked on together and that we've shared. So many fond memories looking back. The Arizona adventure, our first out-of-state adventure, energy vortexes in Sedona, the Grand Canyon, Flagstaff, 3 separate mammoth trips with plenty of fantastic adventures in between. Maybe my favorite location to adventure. Plenty of excursions into the desert as well, to learn the wisdom from the desert. I feel myself suddenly slipping into an English accent, so we'll continue with that. Dublin Gulch, Joshua Tree, Giant Rock, Onza Borrego, San Luis Obispo, Morro Rock. It truly has been a blessing to share these adventures with you guys. If it weren't for you all, I'd never see many of these beautiful places. So again, I express my sincere gratitude. Thank you all, and I'm excited for the future. Here's to the next 1,000. Alright, I'm sorry for that, guys, but love y'all. Let's keep it rolling. Alright, y'all, believe it or not, it is 9:20 p.m. out right now. 9:22. But it's pretty cool, I mean, still light skies out at 20 minutes after 9. But anyways, no need to obsess over that. I'm going to get the back of the Longship, I'll convert it into bed mode, and then sit up here, cool off, so I can get into bed not all sweaty and whatnot. Oh, get the bed, close that up. Alright guys. Oh, it is so sticky and stuffy in here, I will say that much. Get my curtain closed. Nights like these, I'm reminded why I definitely prefer winter camping over summer. I would much rather be freezing cold right now than burning up, but hey, it is what it is. We got 2 fans blowing, and the later it gets, the cooler it'll get, so Hey, just something you gotta deal with. It is what it is. Oh, I left the light on up front. Fuck me. Oi. All right, I'm going to attempt to cool off as best I can and then try to fall asleep. Super fun day at Zion National Park, you guys. And tomorrow, as I've been saying, I'm very excited for. Gonna be doing some canyoneering in Kolob Canyon. I think it's called Kolob Canyon. A much quieter, more secluded part of the park. Much more my speed. All right, good night, y'all. Good morning, y'all. It is so hot.
Summer camping, man. But anyways, that is gonna do it for our first day of the Utah adventure. Zion National Park, absolutely beautiful. We still have a lot more to explore. And again, I have to give a big shout out to you guys. 1,000 subscribers is absolutely crazy. I know we passed it when I was on my break, my 3-month hiatus, but hey, it's all good. We're back, better than ever. I'm very excited for what the future has in store for the channel. I'm very appreciative for my first 1,000, well, let's say first 1,020 of you guys, because we're about around there right now. I'll never forget y'all. And y'all, we still have plenty of time to adventure here in Utah, so stay tuned, keep an eye out for future videos. As always, I appreciate the heck out of you guys for watching. Hit the bell, subscribe, like, drop a comment, all that good stuff. But hey, only if you want to. I ain't the boss of you, fool. Alright, y'all, I'll catch you on the next adventure. Peace!